you mentioned Daryl Ruiter. Here's what his thoughts are about Shedeur Sanders being the answer for the Browns.
You don't know unless you give him a shot. And I think that he's done enough to deserve the shot. I'm not going to sit here and say he's the long-lost solution. I've been very consistent in that as he's gone through these starts, the good ones and the bad ones. I'm not sitting here saying he's the franchise quarterback of the future. But what I am saying is I think he has played well enough in stretches to where it is worth exploring whether or not he is. And if he is, it's the ultimate jackpot for the Browns because they will be paying him nothing for the next 3-4 years or so. Actually, it's 3 years because he's got a 4-year rookie contract being a fifth-round pick. But, yeah, I mean, it's worth taking a shot at.
I agree. I don't often agree with beat reporters. I agree with Daryl Ruiter there. How do you think the quarterback situation unfolds in the offseason then? Do you think they bring in? I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing in a veteran if you can find one relatively cheap again.
Well, this is where it kind of gets interesting because, Geno Smith is a name that's floated out there. But I don't know that there's much difference there between that and Flacco. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't come in here with – it's a year thing if you're making a move like Geno Smith. This is why I bring up names like Mac Jones. This is why you bring up names like Malik Willis. These guys could come in, and if they can compete with Shedeur and get the starting gig, it can give you multiple years. But one's 27, the other's 28. They could be your quarterback for 3-4 seasons. That is certainly something that can happen. Shedeur, it is certainly, that is a lot of appeal to this. There's no question. Look at San Francisco and Brock Purdy. All those years, you didn't pay him a dime as Mr. Irrelevant. So, having your quarterback, and the way I think Shedeur's deal works out, it's basically $1 million per, which is absolutely nothing, of course, for a quarterback. So certainly that is a big, big win if it can work out that way. But, again, there's other factors. Is this regime staying? Is some of this regime staying? Is none of this regime staying? Then, if they're not, I don't think anybody's coming to Cleveland saying, I want this job. I want Jimmy Haslam's money. And I'm more than fine with putting my entire, basically lifeline as far as a head coach in this league with Shedeur. So there's a lot of variables that are going to work out in the next 7 or 8 days. But, there is no way that I think anybody should be confirmed that Shedeur is not an answer in any way whatsoever. You take into account, obviously, a lot of the factors he dealt with this year as far as injury, the offensive line, and then, missing a running game and those types of things. And, a lot of it really held up well. Again, there were just some of those head-scratching plays at times where you're like, man, that is just completely inexcusable.